It's no secret that anytime I get an email from my dear friend Mike Cohn, I always get excited about what he has to say and what we're trying to offer. So let's dig in. Let's go straight into his email. He starts, we often find ourselves relying on others outside of the team. Facts. For example, an agile team may get stuck waiting for feedback on the latest feature or input on what to build next because a key stakeholder has never shown up for a sprint review. Huh? I've seen that happen. Without that stakeholder's feedback, the team is impeded, unable to determine if what they've created is what's needed or even what's wanted. Or yeah, it's like there's a gap, there's something missing, right? Where is it? What do we do? If that's the case and that's where you are, the team nags, pleads, and begs, but they still are left waiting because stakeholders are often too busy and they just can or won't find the time to join in and do the things they need to do. You've tried moving the sprint review meeting to a more convenient time. You sent agendas that make it clear and easy that stakeholders' most desired features is what's being discussed at the review and that they need to be there. But time and time again, something comes up, and at the last minute, the stakeholders are no show. I want to pause here. This is probably one of the biggest things that I've seen that really does hold teams up. It's amazing how much this holds teams back. I've had so many people come to me and say, "How do we get that high level engagement? How do we get stakeholders more invested? How do we get them to want to be part of what we're doing? How do we get them excited?" Now, I don't want to pin this down and say it's all the stakeholders' fault. So, one thing I want to point out, Mike, and I'm sure you're going to get to this, is that sometimes we haven't provided the right information to the stakeholder in order for them to get excited about what we're doing. A lot of times it is the stakeholder, but it's a two-way street. Love is an open door, right? We need to have both sides aligned. Let's see where he takes it. So, in these instances, it's time to make a meeting just for them. Okay, here we go. It's time for us to take the meeting to them. It's called a non-meeting meeting. Okay, this is going to be interesting. When a stakeholder won't or can't show up for the team, it's time for a different approach. Schedule time on a stakeholder's calendar for a meeting a few days before sprint planning. Use that block of time to work together on what the team needs. Here's a tip within the tip. Want more help on team dynamics and stakeholder management? Mike has a Scrum Team Reset document and training. It looks like it's 3 videos. That sounds good. That'll help you find new ways for your team to go from good to great. I'll link those in the description. So when I schedule a meeting, I'll sometimes be very clear what the meeting is about. I want to go over such and such with you before our review. Other times, I'll intentionally be more vague. I need to chat with you about something important on the project. Use whatever language you need to secure time on a person's calendar. Why? Because we are all more willing to cancel appointments with ourselves than we are to cancel appointments with someone else. By putting time on their calendar, then they're reluctant or more reluctant to cancel. You've secured enough time for them to actually do the work. During the meeting, explain to them that the work you need for them to do. Look at the feature and give feedback or clarity on how the feature should work. Then use the time to step through the implementation or plan with them. Walk them through, show them right there on the spot. This results in 2 things. 1, the team gets the information it needs. 2, the stakeholder finds out that the thing they've been putting off really wasn't so bad once they focused on just getting it done. Why do you think this works? Well, when stakeholders show an inability to get work or answers to you in appropriate timeframes, it's time for you to intervene. Maybe they're worried their time will be wasted in a review where their feature is one of many things that's being discussed, or maybe the review of the XYZ feature has been on their to-do list and keeps getting bumped down. Or maybe they haven't actually scheduled a specific time to work on it or look at it. No matter the reason, the work the team needs done is not happening. And your best chance of helping a stakeholder do that work is to schedule time with the stakeholder directly and use that time to see the work happen. Should stakeholders be able to do this on their own? Well, sure, of course they should. But we all struggle with this at times. My experience is that after doing this a handful of times with a stakeholder, most stakeholders will form a new habit and will be able to continue without you. I'm going to pause here for a second. This is true. One of the things that I found myself doing is I often put myself in a position where, I'll schedule a meeting with them to talk about how we can better serve them to optimize their time. That's kind of strange, right? But if you put it together that way and you're giving them a meeting to serve them to talk about how you can do your job better to serve them, this opens up a lot of better pathways for you to open up those lines of communications and get the ball rolling with them. And eventually it'll become a good habit for them when they realize it's not so bad. But in other cases, you and the stakeholder will discover it's actually more efficient when you do it together. And you'll see that you keep this, or it becomes a recurring meeting on their calendar that isn't the actual review. And that's perfectly fine too, as long as you get the information that you need in that meeting. Stakeholders are often busy, and that can cause them to take longer to respond than a fast moving agile team might like. You got to remember, not everyone's going to move at your pace. Finding creative solutions that keep the team moving, even if it's not something Scrum prescribes, is the best way to help advance a team and get them from good to great. I couldn't agree more, Mike. This is another one of those situations where you have to be careful what you're trying to do. But if you're going to get a team to move, you need to get everyone involved. And I think sometimes when we have busy stakeholders, we just don't know how to get them engaged. So thank you so much for that email. It was extremely thoughtful and on point. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at agiledad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks again, Mike, for your weekly emails. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.